Welcome to Speaking History, friends. Throughout history, there have been stories that leave us puzzled, intrigued, and sometimes even terrified. But nothing captures our imagination quite like the sudden disappearance of someone without a trace. From explorers to ordinary people, these mysterious vanishings have haunted the minds of investigators and curious souls for decades, even centuries. In today's video, we'll dive into 10 of the most baffling disappearances in history, cases that remain unsolved, shrouded in mystery, and leaving us with more questions than answers. Buckle up, because this is going to be a journey full of suspense and intrigue. On the first spot of our list is the infamous case of Jimmy Hoffa, a man whose disappearance is as legendary as his life. July 30th, 1975 was just another summer day in Detroit, or so it seemed. Jimmy Hoffa, one of America's most powerful union leaders, left home for a lunch meeting at the Machos Red Fox restaurant with two known mafia figures. He never returned. Hoffa was no stranger to controversy. As the head of the Teamsters Union, he wielded enormous influence, and his ties to organized crime were an open secret. But after spending years behind bars on charges of jury tampering and fraud, Hoffa had a plan. He was going to reclaim his throne at the Union. It was a move that made a lot of people uneasy, especially those within the mafia who had grown comfortable without Hoffa's strong-willed leadership. When Hoffa didn't return from his meeting, his family knew something was wrong. By the next morning, the parking lot of the Red Fox was buzzing with police and FBI agents. Hoffa's car was there, but the man himself had vanished without a trace. Theories about his fate exploded immediately. Was he killed by the mafia to stop him from regaining power? Did he flee the country knowing he was a target? Over the years, supposed leads have come and gone. A tip about Hoffa being buried beneath Giant Stadium in New Jersey, rumors of his body being dissolved in acid, or even encased in concrete. But no credible evidence has ever surfaced. Even though the FBI officially closed the case in 1982, people remain obsessed with Hoffa's fate. His life was filled with as much mystery as his disappearance, leaving us to wonder, was Hoffa silenced because he knew too much, or did he disappear on his own terms? To this day, the question remains, what really happened to Jimmy Hoffa? On the second spot of our list is the enigmatic case of Raoul Wallenberg, a hero whose fate remains shrouded in mystery. In the early 1940s, as World War II raged across Europe, Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat, became a beacon of hope for thousands of Hungarian Jews facing imminent deportation to Nazi death camps. Armed with a creative mind and unwavering courage, he devised a plan to save lives. He issued protective passports which granted Jewish individuals safe passage and established safe houses throughout Budapest. His daring efforts are credited with saving tens of thousands of lives. But Wallenberg's heroism came at a steep price. In January 1945, as the Soviet army liberated Budapest, he was arrested by Soviet forces. The exact reasons for his arrest remain unclear. Was it a misunderstanding, or did Wallenberg's actions threaten Soviet interests? What happened next is the crux of the mystery. After his arrest, Wallenberg vanished from public view. Despite international outcry, the Soviets denied holding him and refused to provide any information. Reports began to surface suggesting that he was imprisoned in a Soviet labor camp, but no concrete evidence ever emerged. For decades, his family and friends fought tirelessly for answers, but the Soviet government remained tight-lipped. In the 1980s, rumors hinted at Wallenberg's fate, claiming he died in custody or was executed, but these claims were never substantiated. His disappearance became a symbol of the countless lives lost during the war, and it sparked global campaigns demanding justice. Decades later, the mystery of Raoul Wallenberg remains unsolved. His bravery in the face of evil has immortalized him as a hero, but the question lingers. Where is Raoul Wallenberg? Did he die a martyr, or did he somehow survive, hidden away by forces beyond our understanding. His legacy continues to inspire those who fight against oppression, yet his fate remains one of history's most haunting mysteries. Taking the third spot on our list is the perplexing case of Wallace D. a man who vanished into thin air, leaving behind a legacy that still sparks debate. In the early 1930s, Fard emerged in Detroit as the enigmatic founder of the Nation of Islam. With his captivating speeches and charisma, he attracted a following among African Americans disillusioned by racial injustices. Fard preached messages of empowerment, self-sufficiency, and racial pride, quickly becoming a figure of hope for many. However, Fard's origins are as mysterious as his disappearance. Little is known about his early life. His true name, his background, and even his nationality are subjects of speculation. Some believe he was a mixed-race man born in either the United States or the Pacific Islands, while others argue he was an undercover government agent. His life was a riddle wrapped in enigma, and just as his influence began to solidify, he disappeared in 1934. On June 23, 1934, Fard was last seen in Detroit. According to reports, he was arrested for soliciting a prostitute, but what happened after that remains uncertain. His followers claim he was taken by the police, possibly even killed. Others suggest he fled to avoid the mounting pressure from authorities. The lack of concrete evidence only fueled rumors, creating a whirlwind of conspiracy theories surrounding his fate. In the years that followed, his disciples claimed to have seen him in various places, but none of these sightings were verified. His disappearance left a vacuum of leadership within the Nation of Islam, ultimately leading to the rise of Elijah Muhammad, who claimed Fard had ascended to a divine status. This only deepened the mystery. Was Fard a prophet, a fugitive, or simply a man who vanished from history? To this day, Wallace D. Fard's fate remains a tantalizing mystery. Did he orchestrate his own disappearance, or did he become another victim of a turbulent era? His legacy endures, and the questions surrounding his life and vanishing continue to intrigue historians and followers alike. On the fourth spot of our list is the legendary mountaineer George Mallory, a man whose ambition to conquer the world's highest peak led to a mysterious disappearance that has puzzled adventurers for decades. In the early 20th century, George Mallory became a prominent figure in the world of mountaineering, fueled by his obsession with climbing Mount Everest. In 1924, he embarked on his third expedition to the summit, accompanied by fellow climber Andrew Irvine. The two men aimed to reach the top of Everest, a feat that had never been accomplished at that time. On June 8, 1924, Mallory and Irvine set off from Camp 6, determined to achieve their dream. They were last seen heading toward the summit, but tragedy struck. They disappeared into the harsh, unforgiving landscape of the Himalayas. Despite extensive search efforts, no trace of the climbers was found, and the world was left to speculate on their fate. The mystery deepened when, in 1999, an expedition discovered Mallory's body on the mountain. The discovery raised a tantalizing question. Had he and Irvine reached the summit before they perished? Mallory's body showed signs of a fall, but with the camera he carried missing, crucial evidence remained lost to the elements. Mallory's final words before his climb, "Because it's there," echoed in the minds of those who admired his adventurous spirit. As the years passed, theories surrounding Mallory's disappearance flourished. Some believed he reached the summit and died on the descent, while others suggested that poor weather conditions thwarted their efforts. The allure of the mystery only intensified the fascination with Everest, where countless climbers continue to brave the treacherous terrain. To this day, George Mallory's legacy lives on, embodying the spirit of exploration and the eternal quest for achievement. His disappearance remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of mountaineering. Did he conquer Everest, or was he simply another victim of its merciless heights? The truth may forever remain buried beneath the snow and ice of the world's tallest mountain. Claiming the fifth spot on our list is Ambrose Bierce, a master of the macabre whose enigmatic disappearance has left a haunting legacy. Ambrose Bierce was an American author, journalist, and Civil War veteran known for his sharp wit and darkly humorous take on life. His most famous work, The Devil's Dictionary, showcased his talent for biting satire, while his short stories, such as An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, revealed a profound understanding of the human psyche. By the time Bierce reached his 60s, he had become a figure of intrigue, often reflecting on themes of death and the supernatural. In 1913, he embarked on a journey to Mexico, driven by a desire to witness the tumultuous Mexican Revolution firsthand. Friends and family were concerned about his safety, but Bierce was undeterred, stating that he was going to join the fight for the revolutionaries. He was last heard from in December of that year when he wrote a letter to a friend expressing his excitement about the unfolding events. After that, he vanished without a trace. Speculation about his fate spiraled into a whirlwind of theories. Some believed he had been killed in battle, while others theorized he had simply decided to disappear into the chaos of revolution, seeking a final adventure. Bierce's disappearance was further shrouded in mystery by the circumstances surrounding it. Despite efforts to locate him, no evidence of his fate ever surfaced. Stories circulated that he had been captured and executed by rival factions, or perhaps he had chosen to live out his days in anonymity. Even more bizarre were claims that he had encountered supernatural beings in Mexico, adding a layer of intrigue to his already mysterious persona. To this day, Ambrose Bierce's disappearance remains an unsolved riddle, inviting countless theories and speculations. Did he meet a tragic end, or did he embrace the unknown, much like the characters in his own stories? His legacy continues to captivate, reminding us of the thin line between reality and the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. Taking the sixth spot on our list is Solomon Northup, a man whose life story is both inspiring and shrouded in mystery. Born in 1808, Solomon Northup was a free African-American living in New York, where he enjoyed a life of freedom and opportunity. He was a skilled carpenter and fiddler, respected in his community. However, in 1841, his life took a tragic turn when he was kidnapped and sold into slavery. Under the guise of a job offer, Northup was lured to Washington, D.C., where he was drugged, imprisoned, and sold to slave traders. For 12 harrowing years, he endured the brutal realities of slavery in Louisiana, facing unimaginable hardships. His remarkable resilience shone through as he documented his experiences in his memoir, 12 Years a Slave, published in 1853. His account revealed the horrifying truths of slavery and garnered significant attention, eventually playing a pivotal role in the abolitionist movement. But just as his story was gaining traction, Northup's life took another unexpected twist. After finally regaining his freedom in 1853, he continued to advocate against slavery. However, his later years are shrouded in uncertainty. In 1863, he traveled to the South to assist other freed slaves, but he mysteriously disappeared from the historical record. The circumstances of his disappearance remain unclear. Some speculate that he was abducted again by former slave owners who sought revenge for his outspoken criticism of the institution. Others believe he may have been caught up in the chaos of the Civil War, which could have led to his untimely demise. There are even whispers of Northup starting a new life under an assumed identity, trying to escape the traumas of his past. To this day, Solomon Northup's disappearance remains a haunting mystery, juxtaposed against the backdrop of his incredible journey from slavery to freedom. His legacy as a writer and activist endures, yet the question lingers. What truly happened to Solomon Northup after his remarkable return to freedom? His life story continues to inspire and provoke thought, a reminder of the struggles faced by countless individuals in their fight for justice and dignity. Claiming the seventh spot on our list is the haunting mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke, a tale that has captivated historians and adventurers for centuries. In 1587, a group of over 100 English settlers landed on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Led by John White, the colonists aimed to establish a permanent settlement in the New World. However, as tensions rose with local Native American tribes and supplies dwindled, the situation became increasingly precarious. Just a few weeks after their arrival, John White sailed back to England to gather more supplies. His return was delayed due to the ongoing conflicts in Europe, including the Spanish Armada's threat. It wasn't until 1590, 3 years later, that White returned to Roanoke, only to find the settlement completely abandoned. What he discovered was chilling. The words Croatoan carved into a tree and CRO etched into a post, the only clues left behind. There were no signs of struggle, no bodies, and no indication of what had happened to the settlers. Had they been attacked by Native Americans? Did they succumb to disease or starvation? Or had they simply relocated to nearby Croatoan Island, seeking a more secure location? Theories began to circulate, ranging from the plausible to the bizarre. Some believe the colonists assimilated with local tribes, while others suggest they faced violent conflicts that led to their demise. Over the years, numerous expeditions sought to unravel the mystery, but each search returned empty-handed. The lost colony has inspired countless legends, including tales of ghostly apparitions and hidden treasures. Scholars have proposed various explanations for their fate, yet the truth remains elusive. What happened to these early settlers? Did they find a new home, or did their dreams end in tragedy? To this day, the lost colony of Roanoke stands as one of America's oldest mysteries, inviting curiosity and speculation. Its legacy serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by those who ventured into the unknown, leaving us to wonder. Are their descendants still among us, hidden within the folds of history? Or did they vanish forever into the depths of time? Taking the 8th spot on our list is the tragic tale of Edward V of England, a young prince whose disappearance has left historians puzzled for centuries. Born in 1470, Edward V was the eldest son of King Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville. His ascent to the throne seemed almost assured when his father died suddenly in April 1483. Just 12 years old at the time, Edward was thrust into a world of political intrigue and uncertainty. Upon his father's death, Edward's uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, was appointed as Lord Protector. However, Richard had his own ambitions for the throne. Within weeks, he seized power, declaring that Edward and his younger brother Richard were illegitimate heirs, based on claims of their father's marriage being invalid. This betrayal marked the beginning of a harrowing chapter in Edward's life. In June 1483, Edward was taken to the Tower of London, ostensibly for his protection. His younger brother, Richard, joined him shortly thereafter. But as days turned into weeks, the brothers' fate grew increasingly uncertain. Richard's grip on power tightened, and soon the two boys vanished from public view altogether. Their disappearance became one of England's greatest mysteries. Theories abounded. Were they murdered to eliminate any threat to Richard's claim to the throne? Some believed they were secreted away to live in exile, while others speculated that they might have been hidden in plain sight, living out their lives under different identities. The last confirmed sighting of Edward and Richard was in July 1483. The next we heard of them was years later, when rumors emerged suggesting that they had been killed in the tower. The mystery deepened when a set of bones was discovered in the tower in 1674, thought to belong to the two princes, but this claim has never been definitively proven. Today, Edward V's fate remains shrouded in uncertainty, a poignant reminder of the brutal political machinations of the time. Did he meet a tragic end at the hands of his uncle? Or did he find a way to escape the treachery of the Tudor court? The story of Edward V continues to haunt historians, fueling speculation and intrigue over the centuries. Rounding out our list at the 9th spot is the enigmatic figure of Al-Hakim, the 6th Fatimid Caliph, whose sudden disappearance has sparked speculation and intrigue for centuries. Born in 995, Al-Hakim bi-Amr Allah rose to power in 996, becoming known for his controversial rule over Egypt. His reign was marked by both progressive reforms and bizarre edicts that often confounded his subjects. Al-Hakim was a complex figure, implementing policies that promoted religious tolerance while also engaging in actions that caused fear among the populace, including the persecution of certain religious groups. One of the most perplexing aspects of his reign was his increasing obsession with the supernatural and the divine. Al-Hakim often claimed to be divinely inspired, issuing decrees that included the destruction of churches and synagogues, and even proclaiming himself a manifestation of God. His eccentric behavior and autocratic rule alienated many, creating an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. Then, in 1021, Al-Hakim's story took a dramatic turn. One night, he rode out into the darkness of Cairo, accompanied by a small entourage, and simply vanished. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance remain shrouded in mystery. Did he meet with foul play from political enemies? Was he abducted, or did he choose to disappear voluntarily, seeking a life away from the throne? In the aftermath of his disappearance, rumors swirled. Some claimed he had been assassinated, while others believed he had ascended to a higher realm, with many followers interpreting his vanishing act as a sign of his divine nature. The people of Cairo were left in confusion, and the political landscape shifted dramatically without him. Despite extensive searches, no trace of Al-Hakim was ever found. His disappearance has inspired countless theories and tales over the centuries, including claims that he returned in disguise or that he was living in a hidden city, awaiting the right moment to reveal himself. To this day, Al-Hakim's fate remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Did he succumb to the intrigues of his court, or did he embark on a mystical journey beyond our understanding? His legacy lives on, leaving us to ponder the fine line between power, madness, and the unknown. Claiming the 10th spot on our list is the legendary D.B. Cooper, a name that has become synonymous with one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in American history. On November 24, 1971, a man using the alias D.B. Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon. He was a seemingly ordinary passenger, dressed in a suit and tie, carrying a briefcase. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant, revealing that he was armed and had a bomb. Cooper demanded $200,000 in ransom, 4 parachutes, and a fuel stop in Seattle, threatening to detonate the bomb if his demands were not met. The airline complied, and the plane landed safely in Seattle, where Cooper's demands were fulfilled. He released the 36 passengers but retained the crew members for his planned escape. Once the plane took off again, heading towards Mexico, Cooper instructed the crew to fly at a low altitude and slow speed. Somewhere over the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, he opened the rear stairway door and jumped into the night, disappearing into the darkness with the ransom money. Despite an extensive manhunt involving the FBI, which became one of the longest and most exhaustive in U.S. history, no trace of Cooper was ever found. In 1978, a young boy discovered a decaying package containing $5,800 of the ransom money buried along the Columbia River, leading to even more questions about Cooper's fate. How could he have survived the jump? Did he make it to safety, or did he perish in the wilderness? Over the years, countless theories have emerged regarding Cooper's identity and whereabouts. Some believe he was a seasoned parachutist, while others speculate he may have had military training. Various suspects have been proposed, but none have been definitively linked to the case. The mystery of D.B. Cooper has captured the public's imagination, inspiring books, documentaries, and even a cult following. To this day, D.B. Cooper's fate remains one of America's greatest mysteries. Did he escape with his loot, living a life of anonymity, Or did he meet a tragic end? The unanswered questions linger, reminding us of the thrill of the unknown and the allure of a well-executed heist that continues to baffle investigators and thrill-seekers alike. As we conclude our journey through the shadows of history, we are left with lingering questions and unsolved puzzles that challenge our understanding of reality. From the lost settlers of Roanoke to the enigmatic D.B. Cooper, each story serves as a reminder of the fragility of existence and the mysteries that surround us. These individuals vanished, leaving behind echoes of their lives and the intrigue of their fates. Whether through the twists of fate, the complexities of human nature, or the unexplained events of the universe, their stories continue to captivate and haunt us. As we ponder the unknown, we invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Who do you think holds the key to these mysteries? Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the enigmatic corners of history.